December 1944. Deep within the snow-covered Ardennes forest of Belgium, a German armored unit unexpectedly captured a massive American fuel depot. More than 50,000 gallons of gasoline stood before them. For an army running desperately low on fuel, it seemed like a gift from heaven. But only a few hours later, the commanding colonel reached a conclusion that left the officers around him speechless. If we have to survive on our enemy's fuel, this war is already over. It was the moment he realized that Nazi Germany could no longer win. By the end of 1944, Germany's situation was becoming increasingly desperate. In the east, the Soviet Red Army was approaching Germany's borders with millions of soldiers and thousands of tanks. In the west, the Allies had successfully landed in Normandy months earlier and were pushing deeper into Europe. Yet, Adolf Hitler still believed that a bold counteroffensive could change everything. A plan known as Wacht am Rhein was put into motion. Today, the world knows it as the Battle of the Bulge, the last and largest German offensive on the Western Front. Hitler's objective was extremely ambitious. In the early hours of December 16, 1944, more than 200,000 German soldiers launched their attack. German artillery unleashed a massive bombardment against American positions. Thick fog grounded Allied aircraft. During the first few days, the offensive progressed better than expected. American units were caught by surprise. Several defensive lines were broken. Panther and Tiger tanks surged through snow-covered roads. Some German formations advanced even faster than planned. Yet fuel remained a nightmare. Motorized columns had to calculate every liter of gas. A few days after the offensive began, a German armored unit discovered an American supply depot. Inside were tens of thousands of gallons of fuel, along with large quantities of military supplies. To German soldiers, it was like finding water in the middle of a desert. Trucks were dispatched immediately. American fuel barrels were quickly redirected to support German units. Many tank crews cheered when they learned they could continue advancing. Some officers even believed that fortune had finally smiled upon Germany. But not everyone shared that optimism. The commanding colonel, while German forces tried to make use of every drop of captured fuel, the world on the other side of the front looked completely different. The United States produced more trucks than Germany's entire motorized vehicle output. Supply convoys, stretching for dozens of kilometers, operated almost without interruption. American factories produced thousands of aircraft every month. Thousands of new tanks continued arriving in Europe. For the United States, losing a fuel depot was an unfortunate setback. For Germany, capturing that same fuel depot was a matter of survival. That difference reflected the enormous. By late December 1944, the weather began to clear. Allied air power returned to the skies. Fighter bombers relentlessly attacked German supply columns. The narrow roads of the Ardennes became graveyards of military vehicles. Many German units became stranded due to fuel shortages. Tanks were abandoned along roadsides. Some crews were forced to destroy their own vehicles before retreating. Meanwhile, American forces rapidly reorganized. Reinforcements poured into the battlefield. The German advance slowed and eventually came to a complete halt. By January, standing before the captured American fuel depot, the German colonel understood something that many others still refused to accept. An army cannot win if it depends on its enemy's supplies. The Ardennes offensive was not merely Germany's final major battle in the West. It was proof that Germany's wartime economy had reached its limits. The finest tanks in the world could not move with empty fuel tanks. The courage of soldiers could not replace oil, steel, and industrial production lines. The American fuel depot they captured was not a symbol of victory. It was a reminder that Germany no longer possessed. Only 4 months after the Battle of the Bulge, Berlin fell. In May 1945, Nazi Germany surrendered unconditionally. Looking back at history, those 50,000 gallons of fuel did not change the outcome of the war. Instead, they revealed a truth that many German commanders had already recognized. When a great power must survive on the supplies of its enemy, defeat becomes only a matter of time. Sometimes the clearest sign of collapse is not found on the battlefield, but inside the fuel barrels that seem to offer hope